Justin's 31, so he's lived a pretty full life. I would say that he's not done anything on the easy road. He's always walked his own road and the hardest road, I think. He's had struggles with addiction for a very long period of time, and it took a lot of love and strength from myself, wider family members, friends, to help get him through. He struggled with mainly marijuana and ice addiction over the years. So Justin's addiction probably started when he was about 15 years of age. There was lots of different circumstances, I think, that led him to start trying drugs. When ice came along, they talk about how addictive it is. I think he was about 20, 21, so I can remember him. That was the first major arrest that he'd had. Justin had never ever had anything, like that done in his life, and he was arrested, and I thought my child was going to spend his 21st birthday in jail. It did take control, and he had fought addiction before where he'd got himself sober. He stayed away from everything for 12 months, but he didn't have the tools to sustain sobriety. I've seen Justin homeless on the street, where he wouldn't take my help. And that's probably one of the hardest things I've ever had to do, is to see your child walking down the street and be homeless and not actually accept help from you. There's been occasions where I was losing a loved one, and before I left to go home, I had to go to the courthouse, and I tried to take a JEO out on Justin, which is a mental health order, so that I could know where he was, because I didn't know where he was. He was sleeping on the street. Nobody had seen him. He was sleeping down the road from my loved one's house in the park. The only way I could get through it was to know that I had done everything I could. They talk about a tough love. Some people in some rehabs talk about that and say that you have to cut your children off. I actually don't believe that was the case for me. I just knew my child enough to know that if I cut him off, that he probably may not come back. If he was ever going to do that, I knew that I had to live life without him. I had to do everything I possibly could to make sure that I could live with myself. So the tough love that people talk about didn't work for me. I gave my child somewhere to sleep so that I knew where he was of a night time. I gave him a home so that he always felt loved, that he could come home. He just wasn't allowed to do drugs in my home, but he knew that, he could come and go to somewhere to sleep, something to eat, bath, clean clothes, those sorts of things. It wasn't always easy. He was always going to do it himself, and he was always going to do it his own way. He never lied to me about his addictions. He was always pretty honest when I opened. If I asked him questions about what he was doing, how he was doing it, and he would say to me, if you don't want to know the answers to those, Mum, don't ask me the questions, because I'm not going to lie to you. Eventually, it was just his choice to go. He's like, he woke up one day and said, I'm going to go to rehab. And I was like, okay, I'm taking the day off work, let's do this. And there was so many different support agencies out there that I didn't realise were there, that would help me get him to where he needed to be.